Hawa. Hawa. Welcome back to another episode of Templar Up. I'm your host here, Templar Up, Reed. Paxcopia to you and yours. Plenty of peace, or peace and plenty, however you vibrate. And today we're going to continue on with the classroom with part 2 of Job the Righteous. It's really, what do we know about this man? Very little. Bits and pieces, right? As we can see in the last drop, not even the scholars really know. And they're making a lot of stuff up, but, we understand that there's phantoms and duplicates. Names and titles. Words have meaning. That's why they call them spells. Power. So we want to dig on it. We want to make sure that we do our homework. Because the hijack's never late. But the indigenous truth is always on time. And we're going to cover the entire first chapter of Job, no matter how long it takes. And we're going to get it, because there's a lot of things we gloss over, we glance over, because we think we know when we don't know. But, as always, and as I stated in the first drop, this is about behavior. To study Job is to look at yourself in the mirror with no fig leaf. Study your behavior. And that's why it's furnace season. That's why it's the third wave. That's why it's going to get a little hot. It always gets hot when we talk about behavior. I hope y'all can hear me all right. I hope the flutes ain't too loud there on y'all. Little campfire. And today, what we're going to do is just cover the first chapter. The first verse and the precepts, and really dig on these words that we gloss over. Okay. As always, much love to the family. Much love to the Shabbatah. If you're digging this at 432thedrop.com, welcome. I hope everybody in the chat room is getting it in, having a good time, And, I want to say thank you to all the Dragon sponsors on the wall, and most importantly to Brother King for giving us the platform. And then all the people out there giving the drop, keeping me inspired, keeping me learning, keeping me on my toes, keeping me humble. Today it's been a good drop all week, actually. If y'all haven't been digging away, if y'all ain't downloaded the app, y'all should be listening to it, dig on it. It's been a good journey. A lot of good classrooms, So y'all dig on it. And if you're on these YouTube streets, I hope you guys, throw me a like, whatever. Never ask, never will. But if this drop is important to you, I hope you do share it, though. I ain't into all the algorithms, so so I don't know if y'all sharing or not. But this is important, because like with a lot of things, we gonna spearhead the drop, especially when it comes down to our Dragon 9s, and then in the last drop, by the precepts, we touch bases that Job is Noah. Now in Job chapter 1, verse 1, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, one that feared God and eschewed evil. Okay. Let's see here. I'm sorry, y'all. Just in case, I'm just gonna turn this down just a tad bit. Why y'all telling me it was blaring like that? Alright. So in the last drop we went over Job itself, right? Is it Job or is it Job? And when we dug on it, this all originates from the man himself. And what I'm coming to the understanding is that what you would perceive, or we would perceive, as a incarnation is actually the opposite. So there's players in this book of Job, and just like Job himself, and they are the ones in which both the noun and the verb originate. Okay. Now it's funny because again, when we dig on it, okay, he was a biblical biblical masculine proper name, and name of an ancient patriarch, right? Okay, whose story forms a book of the Old Testament. Okay, from Hebrew Job, which according to some scholars is literally hated and persecuted, right? Hated and persecuted. From Iyab, he was hostile to, related to Ebha, enmity. Others say it means the penitent one, right? Figurative of bad news, destitution, and patient endurance. Hence, Job's comforter of one who brings news of additional misfortune, right? But Job is just a piece of work, right? Something to be done, okay? It's a task, right? It's a cartload. Excuse me. Now, only reason I think that that's funny is because when we dig on the alphabet, the aleph is the ox, and the ox pulls the cart, right? Let's see if I pull that up. I still got that link saved so we can dig on it. Why that's popping up? There we go. See? Early in the middle, and then in the Latin, and in the late, name of this symbol is the L. The ox head, the strong power leader. The aleph, silent sound, right? The A. The aleph pulls the cart, right? The cartload. Specific sense, of work done for pay. Okay? But just remember that it was where is it? It was the opposite, or say just opposed to continuous work or slavery. Alright? An occurrence, right? In a very broad sense. Which is interesting. There it is. Contrasted with continuous labor. But we're only talking Job. Okay? Now, the first precept that comes up is Genesis 6 and 9. Okay? So, Genesis 6 and 9 states that these are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. Okay? And then it says the next one was Proverbs 8:13. Fear of the Lord, fear of Allah, is to hate evil. Pride and arrogance and the evil way and the froward mouth do I hate. And then the final precepts comes from James in the New Testament, 5 and 11. James, behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and tender of mercy. Behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, the patience of work, patience of job, right? And have seen the end of Hawa, that Hawa is very pitiful and of tender mercy. Now, there's a couple of different ways, you can understand that and slice and dice it. But let's just keep it simple, stupid. Okay? Start off with Genesis. Now, it says here that these are the generations of Noah, right? And Noah was a just man, perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with God. Now, here it is. The word we need to focus on here is generation. So, let's dig on it. Generation. I know it's going to sound crazy, but because, see, we understand that, well, Noah's the only one in this generation because everybody got wiped out. Right? The flood, because of the flood. Okay, let's make sure we know what a generation is. 14th century generation. Body of individuals born about the same period. Okay. Well, the two bodies of individuals we're talking about is what? Job, who was a man in the land of Uz, right? With the precepts of Genesis, that starts off that these are the generations of Noah, alright? With the body of it, which is a body of individuals born about the same period, right? Now, historically, 30 years, right? But in other uses, as few as 17. Okay, alright. On the notion of descendants at the same stage in the line of descent. Descendants at the same stage in the line of descent. Stop. Let's take it back. Make sure I'm not crazy, right? Okay, let's take it from the top. Job was in the land, is a man from the land of Uz, right? And these are the generations of Noah. Okay. These are the descendants at the same stage in the line of descent. Got it. We're talking about a race, right? A people, a species, right? Alright. From the past participle stem of generare, to bring forth, beget, produce, right? Race. From genus, there's our word again. Race, time. From the pyru, gene, and we dug on gene before, right? To give birth, beget, right? With derivatives referring to the procreation and familial and tribal groups. The procreation, right? Got it. See how that works? Alright, so check this out. Because remember, this is where you get your Jaon. Jaon is a what? It's an element of your word dragon. Dragaon. Genius in the Torah learning. It's also the root word for Genesis. Genius. Generation. For late 14th century, as act or process of procreation. Process of being formed. State of being procreated, reproduction, sexual intercourse, that which is produced. Look at this, fruit, right? Gotta bear fruit. Your works should bear fruit. Right? The seed of David, the seed of Joshua, the son of Nun. Nun is the seed, right? The Nun, the seed, right? Continue, the heir, the son, right? The Nun and the Nun. So, but again, what we know, after the flood, there was only Noah, right? Now Noah was again just man. Now let this bake your noodle, right? Okay, because I wanna connect something else, and it's this right here, the land of Uz, right? The land of Uz. So before we dig on this, let's just read it, because we're this is the Shabbat top. We're bringing it together. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared Power and eschewed evil. Okay. All right. So now, when I did the search on the etymology of Uz, it came up with only 4 other related entries. Can y'all see that all right? Notice that. But what came up was what? Now, Abraham is from right? But, we'll dig on it. So, let's check this out. Prefix meaning original, right? Earliest, primitive, from German right? Out of, original, from Proto-Germanic, look, pi root star uz, out, from pi eud or ud, up and out, see, out, right? At first, only in words borrowed from German, right? Such as earth, rock, am I saying that correctly? Hypothetical primitive language. Since mid-20th century, a living prefix in English. So you mean to tell me that this prefix, since the mid-20th century, is a living prefix in English? Wow, I never knew that. In any case, come on. Alright, little stupid stuff. Alright, let's see here. So that's It says compare Eartham under protoplasm and Urquell under Pilsner. As in Tiglath Pinsler, right? Right. Captain Hijack 101. Let's go back though. Let Let's see what else we got. You also get what? Ordeal. Old English. Ordeal or doll. Trial by physical test, right? Literally judgment or verdict. From Proto-Germanic noun us dale jam, a portioning out, a judgment. Source of Old Saxon erdeli, Old Frisian erdel, Dutch ordeal, German orteil, judgment. Literally that which is dealt out by the gods. Wow. Right, you would think I'd be making this stuff up, but I'm not. It's kind of trippy because you don't realize how close the truth actually is, But let's see here, what else we got? We got Delejan, to share out, related to Old English Dalen, to deal out, from out, and the pi dial, to divide, North Northern Indo-European extended form root of da, to divide, curiously absent in Middle English, and perhaps borrowed in the 16th century from medieval Latin or Middle French, which got it from the Germanic, right? Now, isn't that funny? Because when you dig on the etymology for regeneration, don't you get German out of this? I don't know. Let me see if my memory. See if my memory serves me correct. But I think it does form, or is it another word? Yeah, see? German. Of the same parents or grandparents. This is where we also get Gentile and gentle and Genesis and Genial and Gin and Kris Kringle and Noel, right? It's also where we get kind, nation, native, nature, right? See how we get pregnant. We went to Hob to Brother King and Chef Candy, by the way. Congratulations. Hope the birthing is an easy one for you guys, by the way. Let's see here. Or was I got distracted thinking about the baby. But no, yeah. So you talking about Genesis? So let's go back as far as being the root. Now, notice how as we study or we start digging on this Job, everything's going to take us back to what? Noah. And when we dig on Uz, the land of Uz, it takes us to right? And then we get an ordeal, and this is where we get, judgment. When Noah suffered the judgment, right? Okay, and it says, let's see, another quick point. And then it also is related to out. Old English ut, out, without, outside. Common Germanic, Old Norse, Frisian, Old Saxon, Gothic ut, Middle Dutch ut, Dutch ut, High German uz, German os, from the Pi root ud again. Let's see. Source also of Sanskrit, ut, meaning what? Up, out. It's funny. We say choose up. We say vibe up. We say tribe up. Something we were naturally doing. Now understanding that we were actually, in all those variations, is calling for this land of Uz, land of right? To come out of our ordeal. Come up out of our Babylon, right? Now check out. The last one is a Uzi. Right? Trademark name of a what? Israeli-made submachine gun developed by Uziel Gal. Right? Wow, that's funny. But talking about man. So let's take it from the top. So there was a man in the land of whose name was Job, the land of ordeal, land of the out. It's funny because here it is. We're talking about Job, who has to go through his ordeal, right? Have you considered my servant Job? We have a Noah who had to go through the flood, his ordeal. And then we dig on it and study and figure out that Uz is actually So this dude comes from the same land that Abraham comes from, right? So there was a man in the land of ordeal, whose name was Job, whose name was wait a minute, let me get it back. Whose name was what? Okay. Whose name was a piece of work. that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared power and eschewed evil. Gives a different take on it when we're talking about there's a man in the land of Ur whose name was Job, whose name was a piece of work, whose name was again, whose name was something to be done. And then when you take it, and these are the generations of Noah. Right? Noah was a man, a just man, and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with God. So let's dig on it then, right? As they proverbially say, for shits and giggles. So look him up. Now we got 15 injuries for this dude. Alright? Let's just scroll it, just surf away. We got we got Noah, alright? We got Japhet, we got Webster, Japhetic, Hamatic, alright? Semite, alright? Olive, Shore, Gopher, Vinland, huh? A couple more on the other page, and this all deals with Noah, huh? Okay, so let's dig on it. Noah. Let's see what how Noah compares. Okay, Noah, masculine name, biblical patriarch, once again, from the heel Nuak, literally rest. See, again, I'll tell you guys that on the Sabbath day, the Lord rested. There's not two creation stories. In Genesis, there's three. Genesis chapter 1, then it's Genesis chapter 2. The end of the week ends with Noah. He was the day of rest. Right? His name even means rest. Now, phrase Noah's Ark in reference to the ark in which, according to Genesis, Noah saved his family and many animals is attested from 1610s. Wait a minute, stop. Whoa. The phrase, let's get this back, Noah's Ark, in reference to the ark in which, according to Genesis, Noah saved his family and many animals is attested from 1610. And you got your King James Version in 1611. As a child's toy representing Noah's Ark. By 1841, the adjective Noachian, it's funny because when I see that, I naturally want to say Mohican almost. The way it's just the way symbols work, but you can see Mohican in that. In reference to the flood legend, is from 1670. Reflecting the Hebrew pronunciation. Noachio is from 1660s, and Noach is from, that was hard, 1773. Right? Noah. Let's see what else we got. Alright, let's go back. But his name means rest, whereas Job is a piece of work. Now, it's kind of funny because you would think that, Irvin, wouldn't Job be his name first, and then after the covenant, his name would become Noah? No, is actually backwards because it was after the day of rest. You know, you have to understand the night and the day makes the day. So it was after the flood when everything stopped resting. Underwater, of course, but Noah had to, begin the work to rebuild the entire world. You're getting a dragon-eye perspective. Just like you do in Genesis chapter 1, then you have Genesis chapter 2. It's a dragonfly perspective. It's the next rotation. It's the next cycle. It's the golden mean. It's the golden ratio. All the instances that happen, then it happens with Noah, step by step. Right? You're a dragon. You're a genus of animal. Descendant of Job. Descendant of Noah. In any case. Now, it's funny because when we look at his name, right? Some scholars say it's literally hated or persecuted, right? But when we get to the precepts, it says, have you heard of his patience? Okay? Ye have heard of the patience of Job and have seen the end of Hawa. So by hearing of the patience of Job, you have seen the end of Hawa. The end of the day of the Lord, right? Well, only one person saw that, and that's Noah, which corroborates with the prior one. Now it says here that Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations. And when we go back to, and it says here that Job was a perfect and upright. Okay, so a just man is an upright man, right? And one that feared God, feared Hawa, and eschewed evil. Now, this takes us to the book of wisdom, Proverbs, right? 8 and 13. The fear of Hawa is to hate evil, pride, arrogance, and the evil way, the froward mouth do I hate. These are the 4 pillars of evil. So, when you want to know what evil is, alright? Evil is pride, arrogancy. I like to say arrogancy because it sounds like necromancy. And you cast a spell based upon your ego to make others believe, right? In the evil way, the froward mouth. So, get back to walk with God is the one who fears God, fears Hawa, and eschews evil. The fear of Hawa, one that fear Hawa, okay, is to hate evil. So that means that you are so scared, petrified, fear, right? Isn't that what fear means? Well, let's look that one up. Fear. And it's not respect in this regard. And it should be fear. I think fear is a very accurate term. Okay? And there's a reason for it. See, it's calamity, sudden danger, peril, sudden attack. We're talking about judgment. And Job seen that firsthand, especially if Job was what? Noah. He would have seen that firsthand. And when you experience Hawa, you know he ain't about no play. As Brother Johannington eloquently put, Hawa in the Old Testament is about that life. You don't have to wait till you die to have judgment upon you. And when you are like Job and you're trying to be upright, that means ain't nothing, you ain't gonna ever put no power before your power. Because to do so is what? It falls into evil. Pride, arrogancy, the evil way, and the froward mouth. You see how that works? You see why this is... Job is about behavior. Job is about behavior. Behavior that was experienced firsthand. So, I hope you guys was able to dig on this. Hope you guys are able to take bits and pieces and chew on it and grow from it. You know, we'll bring it back with another chapter, another verse, as it were, and continue on with studying this Job. Told you, as we dig on it, the lines are going to blur because Job and Noah are one and the same, and it's very important that we understand that. Because there's something we're missing when everyone is saying that everyone knows about Noah, but they also know about the latter days, the end of days. And it's almost across all cultures. But it's important that we understand. Because we got a lot of work to do. Because there's only two people in the Bible who's righteous. Job and Noah. And it's interesting, right? Who knew? All in our face bone. All in our face bone. Job was from the land of Uz, and Uz is just a different remix or a variation of land of Abraham. Kind of makes you wonder, right? Where is the land of Uz? Where's the land of the ordeal? Where's the land of out? You know. But in any case, much of hop, family. Much of hop to the tribe. I hope you guys have enjoyed part 2 of Job the Righteous. Peace.